I am so proud of this guy. When I saw he used to have a radio show here, the Mike Alfaro show, The Bull Stops Here. When he called me prior to taking a trip to Cambodia, and because I don't know if you guys understand, when President Trump intervened between the war between Cambodia and Thailand, well, there's over 20 some hostages that Thailand still has. And if you know anything about Mike Alfaro, you saw some of the people trying to say, oh, he's a paid lobbyist, he does this. No, you don't know Mike Alfaro then. Mike Alfaro's heart is probably the size of this room. If he sees a need, he does everything in his power to try to help. I know I'll speak just personally for me. I was having a rough time, and Mike stepped in and was like, brother, I got you. And anytime, he's always asking me, how can I help? What can I do? This guy right here, when he sees a need, when he sees pain, when he sees someone's hurting, he's always trying to fix it or find a way to fix it or find the people who can fix it. And he just took a trip to Cambodia. If you guys didn't see any of the video reactions that he showed and while he was in Cambodia, literally he could not. Every single time someone would come up to him and grab his hand or hug him and just say thank you. And he was, Michael, and how gracious he is. He had both his hands clamping as if he's praying and just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. He could not. The line did not stop. I want to play a brief audio of it. And I'm telling you, Michael Alfaro is the real deal. I call him Money Mike because he's always trying to figure out how to help, how to bring greatness out of people. I just want to play a little small clip. He was on the morning show, I think something like that. And I believe it was Cambodia or Thailand. He'll explain it. But I want you to hear just a small clip, and we're going to bring Michael Alfaro, the Bull Stops Here, on next.
What time is it now in the U.S., Alfaro? Yeah.
Right. It's about 5:30 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, my God. 5:30. That means you haven't got any sleep yet?
Nope. Haven't gotten any sleep at all.
Thank you so much for your sacrification for Cambodia. I'm really grateful for what you've been doing for our Cambodian people and for our country. At the same time, I want to ask you some question. How do you think about the situation in Cambodia when you came at the first time? The situation that Thailand invade Cambodia?
Well, thank you for asking me. Thank you for having me on your show. Actually, it was your show that was one of the clips that inspired me, that reassured me that I had to make my way to Cambodia to see exactly what's happening on the ground. So thank you for your show and your audience. And by your voice inspired me to come to Cambodia. So when my friend of mine says that the morning show wanted to interview me, I was happy because I already know of you already. So I'm excited to be finally on your show. Like many of you, I was just, going through my day, and I just kept on seeing feed after feed about this war between.
And now, my brother, my friend, my pal, Michael Alfaro. Welcome back, brother.
Hey, thanks, John, for having me. I'm glad that to always be on your show in black and white.
Yeah. Now, Michael, you heard what I said about you. I believe every word that I said about you. I know how integral you are, how honest you are, and how big of a heart you have. What was it about this fight in Cambodia between Cambodia and Thailand and the 20 hostages that made you say, I got to get involved?
Well, we all just not just as Americans, but people around the world, we just overcame COVID, which crumbled in the economy worldwide. And I feel that with President Trump right now, he finally got the economy back in line, not just for America, but also for our allies in Southeast Asia. We're seeing right now a trade war that's shifting towards, advantage of America that we've never seen before. We've seen Cambodia and Vietnam lower their tariff war down to 0%. In return, we're going to charge them 19%. However, Thailand, traditionally supposed to be our ally, has been an absolute adversary and a pain for President Trump and his administration. They've been fighting it tooth and nail. very aggressively, like China, and they haven't really found a resolve yet. And I'm just seeing a tremendous shift in behavior from Thailand that makes my eyebrows rise up and saying, what is exactly going on around here? Thailand.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
your phone is kind of breaking up. Can you move to a side or something? Because it's there's a lot of interference going on between the phone call.
Okay, how's this? Is this better?
It's still there a little bit.
Okay, all right. Let me try to do it this way.
Okay, you know what we'll do.
I'm in New York right now, so it's really difficult.
There it is. There it is. That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so here's the thing. In Thailand, we have a general. His name is Bunsen. Now, General Bunsen, what he's doing right now is he has made a public announcement that we're no longer buying from Boeing or Lockheed Martin or any of our defense or any of our aircraft. Okay, it's absolutely coming to an end. And
it's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Before the break, we were talking to Mike Alfaro, formerly the host of the Mike Alfaro Show, The Bull Stops Here. Michael, you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Okay, great.
So,
all right, let me just jump into it if you don't mind.
Yeah,
John, take it from here.
Go ahead,
okay,
brother.
Here's the bottom line. All right, there's a coup that's happening right now in Thailand. For the past 25 years, there's been 16 coups of what party is going to dominate Thailand. Okay, there are 4 parties. One of the parties that we always have trouble with is the military party, because the military party is it's easily and oftentimes influenced by China. And what's happening is we have a General Bunsen, who is drunk on power, who wants to have power over the king. And by doing that, and how to become powerful in these what we call kingdoms is you have to invade a neighboring country like Cambodia to stretch your level of influence, your reach, and your authority. And that's exactly what's happening. You have Cambodia now has been invaded by Thailand, and President Trump called for ceasefire and was able to broke, an agreement. All right. So now that the agreement has been reached, Thailand is still being very aggressive, and they broke that agreement because they believe that President Trump is not watching and not listening. So I had to go down there myself. And when I went down to Cambodia, I applied to the Ministry of Information to have total press credentials. And what I've done was I've communicated with Mr. Chung from the White House, who is the director of all the White House press corps. And I got press credentials actually with One American News. I was going to go there with the team, but the camera crew bailed out because of the security threats from Thailand, that we received information that they were going to invade and break the agreement, and it was going to be an all-out war. But I told OAN and I told my White House colleagues that not unless if I'm there, because I'll bring a camera up and they're not going to shoot when Americans on the ground.
Wow.
And so I decided to pay out of my own pocket because I gave him my word after a good friend of mine, Sonita Khmer, who is a very famous journalist in Cambodia. He went through hell and back just to get me all the credentials that I needed. And I finally got down there, arrived, and I said, look, I'm just being honest with you. I don't have a crew. It's just me and myself, and we can go ahead and run with this. So I went to interview the deputy minister and the prime minister, and it was an honorable thing. It's equivalent to the president and the vice president of Cambodia, who I interviewed, and I discovered a lot of great things about Cambodia. Number one, the minister, the prime minister, is a West Point graduate of the United States. He's been trained by the U.S. Army. I'm so honored and thrilled to hear that Cambodia's sitting, prime minister is a West Point grad, number one. Number two, the vice president, the deputy prime minister, he graduated from Wharton School, the same school as President Trump. And he actually graduated from Harvard. So these are two guys that are pure capitalists in their heart. And they were talking about their vision with working with Trump, working with the president of the United States. And it's just fantastic. So let's kind of unpack this. But, John, how much time do I have until you go on break?
We got 6 minutes before the break. Go ahead.
All right. So let's continue. All right. So bear with me. I'm walking down in New York. So I went ahead and I interviewed, right, the prime minister, deputy prime minister, and I asked for permission to go to the border because I got to see it for myself. These poor people being, harassed by the Thai forces. I had to see it for myself. So they said, if they do that, you're going to have a security decoy. And I said, let's bring it. I was in the Marine Corps. I'm not afraid. I've been in war zones before. I've been to Gaza, I've been to Israel. I've been, the Bosch withdrawal with Afghanistan. I was negotiating with the Taliban to get people out. I've done a lot of this work. So this is a walk in the park for me. So they said, no problem. The next morning, I had to leave the capital of Phnom Penh down to a 6-hour convoy just to get to the battle zone. When I arrived, it was, at night, it was raining heavily. It was nonstop. As soon as I got out of the vehicle, John, we're in this dirt road, and I get out of my car, and immediately every cell in my body just turned into blood. And it was really hard to control the anger and all the emotions, because immediately in that very second, I knew that this invasion was a crime against humanity. There was nothing on this dirt road but displaced families, poor people, poor farmers, and there was nothing, no threat at all to Thailand at all. There's nothing. You can't convince me. You can't convince any military officer. You can't convince anybody, someone that does not even have a military background. There was nothing but just rice fields from far as you could see from the left to the right. And so in order for a country to invade, there has to be a threat. So my first question I asked myself was, where was the threat? Where was the threat? Was these people the poor threat? Because here's the part where America needs to wake up and be very upset about this war. The Thai forces dropped heavy artillery shells, rockets, grenade bomb launchers, and even used white phosphorus rounds. They lied about it, but then they retracted and they said it's true. White phosphorus rounds was used in Syria against before the precursor of ISIS. So when Syria was bombing their people, they were using white phosphorus and had a big outcry. You guys remember that? Well, guess what? Thailand used white phosphorus on innocent people. They bombed Buddhist temples that are as old as 800 AD.
And Mike, is that why you met with the monks?
No, that's later.
Okay.
So when I went to the border, I had to go record this live, and I went to the live because I saw past the barbed wire, and I walked up to the barbed wire. I walked up to the border. I walked up to all the tires that Thai forces have laid out, and they literally kicked out hundreds of thousands of families that doesn't have access to go back to their home. And all of these Thai forces were aiming their muzzles, their AR-15s, all at my face, all at these children's face, and not a single soul, not a single person was a threat. And as I was walking up to the border, and I see all of these Thai forces pointing their guns at my face, I had to call it out. I just said, wait until President Trump finds out about this.
Wow. And
I went and I did a live video. And that live video, because I called out the Thai forces for the crimes against humanity, I said it was wrong. This is a breach of President Trump's security security detail, and this is a breach of the ceasefire agreement, I called it out to their face. I didn't care if there was a gun. I didn't care if they were going to bring out a tank. I didn't care if they were going to bring out a drum, because I'm American. Come at me. Come at me. And I told them right to their face, you know what? It got 9 million views in 1 hour.
Wow.
Okay? Now, after the viral footage went so viral on Facebook, the Thailand king calls the minister of Cambodia, and he said, hey, we will have peace talks tomorrow. I just need you to do one thing. I need Michael Alfaro to suspend that video and take it down, and we will have it done. Well, guess what? While that happening, I was speaking on the phone directly with Kimberly Guilfoyle, and I was also speaking with Mark Beckman, and I was also speaking with Mark Beckman, who's Melania Trump's attorney. And I was also relaying it over to Don Jr. as well. Yeah. And so we were all on the phone going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The Trumps wanted me to keep the video up. Cambodia and Thailand asked me to keep it down for peace. And then we were just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But eventually I got we were able to successfully get Trump to step out of Air Force One and to see the video.
Hey, Mike, hold it right there. Hold it right there. We got to go to break. I want to know about, and when we come back, I want to know about the monk visit. And you were also offered to come to Thailand. I want to hear about that and what happened and what's next. What does this all mean? You listening to Black and White Radio? We're talking to Mike Alfaro. We'll be right back.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and White Radio with John Anthony. AM 560, The Answer. Before the break, we were talking to Michael Alfaro, but it looks like the Asian Persuasion is here a little earlier for his showdown with Mark. What is the name you came up with?
Oh, you're talking about fried rice? That's right, man. You know us Asian people, we like to take a nice piece, a nice bowl of white rice. Yeah. And after we're done with it,
I'm shocked you're here this early, though.
I'm a little early, right? They wanted to have peace talks beforehand, but I don't do that. They're like, well, what kind of gloves are we going to use? No, there will be no gloves at the next hour on the unsafe space.
Yeah, she'll be in here. She'll join us because every week I let her come in, tell us what's going on the show. But before the break, we were talking to Mike Alfaro. Mike, you still there, brother?
Yes.
So,
yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, you're inside somewhere now. You're no longer walking outside. I can hear it.
Yeah, I found a good place. So let's roll.
So, Mike, talk to us about what was it like meeting those monks, and did they seek you out, or did someone from Cambodia?
Yeah, so basically, the prime minister came forward and told the entire country, and it broke all of the news worldwide, that our message was clear. Thailand invaded Cambodia. It reached over 100 million views on social media platforms. It was #1 trending view in China, Singapore, and Cambodia, Thailand, and all of the Asias. And he came out and publicly said, "Thank God for President Trump for calling for the ceasefire and being able to achieve that. And for that, he's a hero. And thank you for President Trump for sending Michael Alfaro to come to Cambodia to force Thailand to have peace talks, because the last time Cambodia and Thailand had a war where both soldiers have been killed on both sides of the military, the two kings have not spoken to each other in 7 years. Wow. Because of the pride. So we were able to not only with President Trump's action, stop the fire, stop the war, and with my social media presence and credentials, we were able to force the two countries to talk to each other and to work out a peaceful resolve. And so with my call of action, the United Nations has been deployed. 7 other foreign countries has deployed their military to observe. And now it's breaking that Japan agrees. Thailand is in fact the aggressor. They're disheartened to see how quickly they're escalating things. So because of that, the monk, that the exact same senior ranking monk, which is like the Pope of the Cambodian monks, invited me to his personal living quarters. And we had a conversation about President Trump, peace, and why he feels that President Trump is every word, he said, every word and every breath from Trump is inspired by God. And he said that he's never seen such a world leader where he's 100% convinced that every word out of President Trump's mouth is inspired by God. And that's why they nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah. And after I said just my exact same response, I was like, well, I will relay that to the president and his family. And I did. I called the president's family, and I got him on the phone, and they said thank you.
Wow.
And so after that, they said, listen, we have the next room over. There are 150 monks praying for you and your safety. And so they brought me to the other side of the room, and 150 of their senior monks chanted for me and prayed for me and blessed me because obviously Thailand wasn't happy that I called them out for the war crimes. Thailand has publicly came and can not only condemn me, slandered me, said all these terrible lies about me, but Thailand has also called for my arrest. They actually
but Mike, I thought
took all my lobbying disclosures. They took all my business, my lobbying and disclosures. They even took my home address and called on Thai nationals to come to my house and harm me and rape my wife.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
But I thought they invited you. They wanted you to come over to Thailand to give their side.
Well, here's the thing. So after I did not cave. I did not delete my videos. I kept on reporting the truth. And eventually one of the spokesmen said, hey, Michael Alfaro is a lobbyist. He's a fraud, and he won't even hear our side. So if he were to come over, we'll pay for his flight, his hotel, all the expenses he needs, and he can stay as long as he wishes, and he can hear our side, and maybe he'll get the truth. And then I took that opportunity, calling out their bluff. I said, I would welcome that opportunity to come to Thailand, and please let me know how you want to move forward. And then the next day, it caused such a social media crisis for their spokesperson, because 1 minute they condemn me and they say I'm a fraudulent person, I'm a lobbyist, I'm paid by Cambodia, which is not true. They said that President Trump called me personally and told me to come home, which is not true. They said the embassy called me to tell me to go home, it's not true. They said that my wife is Cambodian and she's not. Like, they were just saying so many outright lies. It was just unbelievable what was coming through their news source. And even calling members of Congress and calling people that I've ever worked with, affiliated, associated with, just to harm my reputation.
Are you getting protection now? Have you sought out protection to ensure nothing happens to you and your family?
Well, I contacted the Attorney General, Alan Wilson, who's, my Attorney General of South Carolina, and he's actually deployed upon my arrival home the State National Guard and extra security measures while I'm for the next few months while I'm going to be in the United States. Wow. And so I am having conversations with Congressman Brian Mask and the Trump administration about the behaviors of Thailand, how inappropriate they are, how they're currently acting, and their extreme aggression. But the reason why all of this is happening is simply because right now what's happening is there's a coup in Thailand, and the military party wants control. If that's the case, that's going to be devastating for America, because they're no longer going to be an ally.
Mike, we got to go to break, but we got to go to break right now. When we come back, I want to talk about what's next. What do you think will come out of this, and what's your message to the American people, and as it relates to what's happening in Cambodia and Thailand? Okay.
Yeah, we're on a break of World War III. Go ahead.
You listening to Black and Right? Don't go anywhere. We're talking to Mike Alfaro. Michael, some have said we should just completely get out of any foreign wars or potential wars. Would you say that your mission over there was to prevent war? And what's going to be what do you think? What are you looking for as a desired outcome?
Yes, I'm here. So the current outcome right now that we need is Thailand needs to immediately. Okay, so here let me back up. After Trump has called for ceasefire, Thailand has invited the Cambodian troops to come to the border to shake hands and to take a photo op honoring President Trump's ceasefire agreement, right? Mm-hmm. But here's what Thailand did. The day after that famous tweet that came out, the call for a ceasefire, and that same day, the monks honored President Trump by calling him for the Nobel Peace Prize, right? By nominating him, right? The day after, Thailand says, hey, let's take a photo op together, Cambodia. So Cambodia sends their troops on the border, and guess what they did? They kidnapped them across the other side, and then they arrested them. And they've been detained for over 25 days, and they have yet to release them. This is a big disrespect to President Trump. And when President Trump finds out, he's not going to be happy. Actually, he does know about it, but he hasn't publicly came forth yet about, and he hasn't weighed in because of all the time it's taking consuming around Russia and everything else. But with that being said, the goal is to get the soldiers to be returned back home. Cambodia has allowed Thailand to collect the deceased and the fallen soldiers who has died in the battlefield. Thailand refuses to let the Cambodian soldiers that died in the battlefield over 25 days. They have yet to allow them to come and collect the remains of the bodies. And now what they're saying is that all the refugee camps can now smell the dead corpse along the border of Thailand, and it's breaking down the morality of the spirit of the Cambodian people while they put their peace and their trust in Trump. So that's number one. Number two, there needs to be an international pressure campaign on General Hun Sen of Thailand that he must be charged for crimes against humanity, for killing innocent children, families, and people. He called an F-16 fighter jet airplane to bomb a poor village of farmers, and there's no military people there at all. Not one military soldier was there, and he dropped an F-16 RUS bombs on these children. It's disgusting. It's shameful. He needs to be held accountable and jailed. Number three. People need to wake up this because Thailand is being influenced by China, and Thailand is our U.S. ally. In fact, we have our biggest CIA military operation base in the world that's occupying in Thailand. And if China can manage to break up the stronghold of Southeast Asia, where American influence has the greatest relationship it's ever had, backdating since it was a French parliament. Wow. I mean, it's now with this disruption, it's huge because if Trump is slow to respond to this and we can't bring stability in Southeast Asia, the next country that's going to get invaded, it's going to be either the Philippines or Taiwan from China, because the whole support from Thailand of what they're going to rely on is, the whole support system that the Philippines or the Taiwanese people are going to rely on is from Thailand.
Wow.
But if they can cause disruption, a coup in Thailand, then China can waltz in and dominate all of Southeast Asia, and no one can stop them.
Wow.
And so this is why this is so critical, is that while everybody's sleeping at night and everybody's focusing on the spot fire of Russia and Ukraine, while everybody's focusing on Gaza and Israel, China is now testing Trump and another way by attempting this coup to see how America is going to respond. So yes, those three actionable items we have to immediately take charge. But the problem is that the world is so afraid of the tariff war.
Yeah,
is that all these observers and all these people, they're not going in there and making a tough decision and calling out the bull and calling out Thailand for their aggression and for their breach, because no one wants to make a decision that's not aligned with President Trump. So everybody is knowing and seeing everything that's happening, but they're not calling it out. They're not making any leadership, and even members of Congress. And so I had to go out there myself to break the news and call it as it is, because someone's got to do something about this.
Now, Mike, where can people follow you to keep abreast of this situation? We got 10 seconds.
Just come follow my Facebook, Michael B Alfaro. I have 482,000 followers in just 4 days because I've been breaking these stories, and it's shaking the world.
All right. Mike Alfaro, thanks so much for joining us, brother. Much appreciated. We'll be right back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.